And we're live on everything. And it seems to all be working correctly. Okay. Okay. Well, what's going on, man?
Honestly, this is a lot right now.
Let's see if I could minimize this a little bit.
It's just a lot of emotion.
I can never do anything about this video. I can. I can do this. Yeah. That's chat. This should be where all the chat is centralized. This. I don't have to show this. I don't know how to turn this off. Whatever. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. All right. Yeah, so what's going on? I mean, there's that too, but hopefully it's a little less. Scene, no tools. Don't remember. Studio mode? Oh god, no. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. What's going on, man? Tired?
I'm fucking exhausted.
Why?
I'm just drained in every aspect. Like, I've just been giving so much to so many different people and things, and I'm just done. Like, this whole week I haven't had any energy for anything.
Okay.
Like, I haven't done laundry. My room's a fucking mess. Like, I can't even make my bed. Like, that's how drained I am. I'm just done.
Was it like something more recent or just kind of like a long-term snowball?
Definitely a long-term. Like, everything built up.
Okay.
It's not even like built up. It's just
a lot.
It's been a lot so consistently that, like, I try to do something.
Jamie was just saying, put you hustling. Don't forget that.
You said what?
That you're hustling. Don't forget that.
Yeah, but that's part of the problem. Like the issue I have and why I'm so drained is because I'm trying to do so much, but it's all happening at the same time.
Okay.
And like having to pick and choose what I do and with who
Okay.
has been not only a struggle, but it's been like there are consequences that have come out of things like that. Like I did something last week with someone as opposed to doing something with someone else. And it like turned into a situation that the person that I didn't do something with claimed that I ditched them, except I never like committed. Like there was never a plan even to be like, this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna hang out at this time. And like I never even said yes to hanging out. I was like, I have this other thing going on that in my head and in my heart is a more serious situation than what you're asking me to hang out. This person is asking me for help. Like
I see.
Like the way they came at me about it was two totally different situations. But then the person that was asking me to hang out was like, yeah, but I needed help. And I was like, okay, well, why didn't you say that to me?
Yeah. Okay.
But like they got mad at me for something that they didn't tell me. And I was like, okay, well, what can I do now? Like, and they were like, nothing. Like, it's done. It's over with. And I was like, so you just like expected me to? I don't know. Like, I mean, I tell people like I'm here if you need me, but like you have to tell me that you need me.
Yeah.
Like, or else I'm gonna like other things are gonna take priority over that.
Yeah.
Like there was a reaction of anger to like the expectation that they had of me. But I had never done anything or said anything for that specific situation to give them that expectation. So it was like, you're mad at me because of something you did or didn't do. Like how is that my fault? And things like that have been happening.
I see.
Like constantly.
Okay.
And it's just like one thing after the other. And I'm just like, yo, like I'm just gonna stop doing things. Period. Like I'm at that point of just like, all right, well, if you're gonna blame me for something you're feeling because I helped this person, I'm just gonna not. And it's not even like a cutting people off thing. It's just like I'm just done because I just can't. Like it's affecting me to the point that like last Friday on Valentine's Day, I fucking relapsed. Like I was like, I need to feel something. it got to that point. And I was like, this isn't. The hardest part for me is that it's not me. Like, it's outside things. And yes, like, because I talked to somebody about this and they were like, they gave me the whole, oh, well, you have control over how you react and how you deal with things. And I was like, yeah, I understand that. But, like, at the same time, when I'm giving so much energy out and I'm not receiving anything, or I'm receiving negative energy in place of all the positive energy that I'm giving, I fall out of balance.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't control what people give me.
Okay, that's true.
So, like, if you're giving me all this negative energy, me giving you positive energy is not going to necessarily change the energy you're giving me. But I have to do something with that. Like, it doesn't just go away. And then people, like, and then they were like, well, dance is your release, right? And I'm like, honestly, dance is just, it's not even doing anything for me anymore.
That's interesting.
Like, I don't even want to dance. Which, for those of, like, those people that know me are like, that's scary. Like, I'm just that tired. I'm just like, I don't want to do anything. Like, I don't want to be here right now.
I was going to ask you that. So is this discipline, or do you think you're subconsciously looking for something by actually being here?
Probably both.
Okay.
Because, like, work has been getting to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm probably not going to have a job in a few weeks. Because they're changing everything around and they want it to be done, like, in the evening. But I can't because I teach.
Okay.
I was like, well, I could do these days. And they were like, well, we need it every day. And I was like, I can't. I'm not going to give up teaching, like, something that I love to do. Like, that's what I want to do with my life. I'm not going to give that up because you guys are changing shit. Like, that's not my priority.
Okay.
And then people are like, well, take a week off or, like, find another job. And I'm like, yeah, because it's that fucking simple. Like, I take a week off. To do what? Because the time I'm at work, there's either nothing going on at fucking, 12 to 5 in the morning, or it's like, go to the club till 2. Okay, then what? That's still another, like, 3 hours. At least if I'm at work, I don't have the opportunity that I did last Friday on Valentine's Day. Like, I am an addict. It's not just, like, the thing people don't understand is it's not just, oh, it's your mindset.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it is. That's true. But it's also the chemicals in my body. It's also past experience. It's also everything in my subconscious that I've ever experienced, ever. Like, it's not just any one thing that I can just be like, let me change this. And then it just flip. Like, it's not an overnight thing. It's an everyday battle that I have to fight literally every single day, every second of every day. There's no, like, part of the reason why this is so exhausting is because there's no endpoint. There is no, it's over in, if I can just stay clean for 5 years, it's over. Like, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
If I can stay clean for 20 years, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
There is no, that does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
And people that aren't experiencing it and don't know about addiction or like what it is, they don't. A part of the problem for me is that they don't even try to understand.
Come on, Monica. That's Monica. She's saying self-care. Some people aren't trying to understand. Jamie said, "Don't give your power to those that need you to overexert just for the personal gain. In jobs, we are all replaceable." Oh fuck. But Tom knows pharmacy is the example. LOL.
Like,
appreciate your energy, bro. Anything people don't understand.
But like, it's not. And then like, I don't even want to talk about it with people because then I get shit like that. And like, it's not even like self-care. People are like, oh, well, take care of yourself. And it's like, I don't have the energy to. Literally, like, I haven't showered in almost 3 days. Because I can't stand there for that long.
Okay.
I just can't.
It's kind of a miracle that you're here, to be honest.
But like, people don't understand the extremity of it. Like, it's not, oh, I'm sad and, oh, take a nap and I'll be fine. No, like, it's deeper than that. I slept 13 hours today. Most people are like, that's great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but you don't realize that 4 hours gets me through a day normally. Sleeping for 3 times that is terrible. Like, people don't think about the fact that a full night's sleep for me is 7 hours. Like, that's a good night's sleep. Like, I can run off of 2 days on 7 hours of sleep.
Okay.
13 is I wake up dead.
Today. It kind of just happened, I'm assuming.
I slept.
Yeah.
My body is literally exhausted to the point that it just doesn't move.
Okay.
Like, I'm even, like, people that know me, like, I talk with my hands. Normally my hands are up here.
That's true.
I'm even down here. Like, that's how tired I am. And again, like, it's not any one thing. Like, yes, I fight every day, and people always ask me why I'm so tired. Like, I literally have to fight to get out of bed. Like, literally, like it's a mental battle, like, to fucking get out of bed every day. But like,
you described it once when you were here. I remember.
It's just, but like, I still find the energy to check on people. I still find the energy to fucking reach out and be like, hey, how are you? Or try to hang out. Or like, give people opportunities. And I'm not even being like, oh, like, you're ungrateful, like, it's making me mad. Like, no, I'm just like, it's just, I want people to understand the extremity of what I'm doing. Like, I don't do this because I enjoy it. Like this. I don't. I do it so that other people don't have to. Like, I'm sacrificing all of this shit and I am putting myself through this so that other people don't have to. But like explaining that to people, like every time I do something for someone, explaining that, it's time consuming.
That I understand. I can relate to that 100%.
Like think of everything you do for people in a day. Imagine trying to explain why you do all of those things and still
It's kind of annoying, yeah.
get everything else done in a day.
And at that point, you kind of just pick.
You can't do it. There's not enough time in the day. But like, I don't know, like my eyes keep going back to the self-care. It's like I can't. I don't have the energy. Like I haven't cut my nails in 2 weeks. Like
That's not bad.
Like the shower thing is what really fucks me up because I love showering.
Yeah.
I love being in water. Period. And then somebody else suggested, they were like, well, take a bath. I was like, it's the same for me. It's like the act of actually doing it is what's exhausting.
Okay.
But like I still have obligations. Like I can't read that. What does that say?
No, it's small. I'm gonna tune in over here so I don't have to keep looking up. It says, what can we do to reciprocate the feelings you feel? What can we do to understand? See, that is a good question. So it is important, I'd say, to listen and to ask as opposed to offer unless you're asked. I guess you can answer that if you think there's an answer.
There is no one answer.
But is it a multitude of things? Or you don't even know?
Like I do know, but it's different from person to person.
Okay, so I took a few notes so I don't forget, but just pattern recognition. And I want to, because when you talk about like your journey, obviously you know it best, and the things that you've shared here in this space, but then also just like in public spaces and all that stuff, like you've evolved a lot in good ways, and then there are still kind of like, you know, old things that you're working through just like everybody else, but I'd say it's more apparent for you because it's like so strong, and those things they still play out today, the same way that they always have been for you, at least based on how you're talking about it and how you revisit that place, or it's like an everyday thing still. And so the common themes that I'm like seeing, and I'm trying to like, so this is me trying to be like helpful, is that when you express, okay, our brain just like hit a wall. You've pointed to like what helps you didn't say it today at this moment, but what helps you like get through stuff and to like wake up and do shit is other people. We've talked about the self, and that was a long time ago, and so you're not necessarily getting up for yourself. I don't know if that's changed, but it still to this day seems to be like for others. But the conflict now, not saying it hasn't been a conflict, but the conflict that is extremely apparent is that foundation for like your why right now was draining. And so when you talk about reciprocation, that for me, like whatever that means for each person, but what I think is really fascinating is that the idea of like I do a lot for other people, and like the best of like when we're like conscious and we're not necessarily expecting things from people, but that it'd be nice
There's that level too of things, or there's like the hardcore like, oh, I do things for people and people don't do anything for me or whatever. They don't understand. And so when you're talking about how like you're not getting something, I'm like, so for example, like in this space where we're talking and everything, I know and I've learned through learning myself and I guess whatever desires I've developed over time, that what fuels me isn't positive energy or acceptance necessarily. I think they play a part, but what gets to me is the wholeness, like the expression of a person to me has become the most fascinating thing, because everyone is different. And the thing that is like latched onto that is a drive. So when someone speaks good or they're in a good space, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. When they're in a bad space, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. How can I, or if I can't directly help the person, it inspires me to get up and to figure this shit out, even if it's not directly my problem. So problems inspire me and great things inspire me. And that's like super true to the core. I didn't think it was years ago, but as I've gone through things, I've realized that it is. So when I hear bad things or things I prefer not to really hear from like friends when they're not in a good space, it's like that fuels me. So good or bad, it fuels me. And so when I exchange with people, that is my return. They don't have to do shit for me. I don't have to do anything for them. It's the fact that, wow, I've heard this once, I've never heard it before. And now that's like added to me. So now I'm more conscious moving forward, or I've heard this 100 times and I recognize, and now maybe I should, you know, speak on that a little more because it's inspiring me today. And I know that it might impact them or help them in some way, or know that I'm listening, you know? So in my exchanges of vibing with people or giving my time or whatever, there's that automatic like boost, that return that I get from my existence and outputting. The only time that that's not true is when my tired level is at a certain, if it's at a certain point, I can sit here and be like, I'm a little tired, but I'm functional. But if I'm like too tired, my brain will start going somewhere else, and it's really hard to like capture. So in that moment, it's like I would rather sleep. And I'm so sorry that I'm not in a great space because, you know, you came to hang out or whatever, and I don't want to bail, but I also didn't take care of myself, so I can't even like do the thing that I enjoy. So this vessel is not at the capacity to do all the things that I just said. So if I physically don't feel great, the value's not there, because now I'm not seeking stories and whatnot. So it's almost like two separate things. Like when I'm at decent level of functionality, I can work on the purpose part, but when I don't feel good, my needs are different. So I'm not interested in sitting here and being like, that doesn't give me, I guess, this body energy. I think I need something completely different. And I'm saying this for the first time because I never thought about it until now. I think that like, so I know that I need to be nurtured. So right now it's like food and sleep, not conversations and people. So there's kind of that separation there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that relates at all or like makes sense. I said a few different things, but I guess my concern and my big question is, so recognizing this pattern and seeing that it's not giving you what you're actually looking for, but it did help you. It helped you a lot. And so how I see this is like when someone has a focus, they go and it drives them for a certain amount of time, crash, find something else, drives them for a certain amount of time, crash. Or they kind of figure out a balance as they're adding that into their life. So like when you start to get like the motivation, you were going out a lot and doing things on your own and like having a lot of drive and like, you know, studying and doing all the things that you're doing, I was like, that sounds great. And I hope that you're able to find an internal balance that works for you and not drive yourself to the wall. I've done that a million times. And it's like, as I've gotten older, I've learned how to see the signs before I hit the wall, right? So I guess the real big thing is like, is it just too much, or just all of these things that you've done is not feeding what you actually want?
Both.
too much. Okay, that makes sense. So then just doing a little less or a lot less, whatever you have to do to back off.
So before we go too far, part of it. So like you were saying, what inspires you with like the drive, like seeing drive in other people.
Mhm.
I'm the same in that regard. Like, for example, Sunday, I had a sit down and I was a mediator between two friends of mine,
Mhm.
one whom I'm very, very close with now, and one who I'm not close with.
Okay.
And they were having relationship problems. And I was like, okay, cool. I can deal with problems. Let's figure it out.
Mhm.
Like you were saying. And then there's the drive factor where like when I see somebody like Jamie
Mhm.
really, really wants or like needs something that I can give them,
Mhm.
I'm all about it. I'm all for it. I'm like, here's everything. Do something with it.
Mhm.
And then like, but I remove the excuse factor.
Mhm.
Like, for example, Jamie, like this weekend, well, not this weekend, this week, he had been, let me back up. In the past, he's told me that he wanted to try house dance.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. This is when classes are. Like, you know, Sean, he teaches all the time. Like, I can do privates with you, like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We had multiple conversations about it. And then I got a chance for a free private with Sean.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. Can I bring Jamie? And he was like, yeah, for, his fee of whatever it is, whatever it was. And I was like, all right, Jamie, I'm paying for you. I'm driving you there, and I'm working around your schedule for the private.
Mhm.
You now have no real valid excuse
Mhm.
to not go. I was like, you chose the day
Mhm.
and the time. Well, I chose the time, but like it was within prerequisites of what you gave me.
Mhm.
I was like, I'm paying for it, so you don't have to worry about financial anything. I was like, and it's something you've told me you wanted to do, so I'm presenting you the opportunity to do it.
Mhm.
If he was like, nah, man, like I'm not feeling it today, I would be like, okay, done. I'm not giving you any further opportunities for this because you don't actually want to do it.
Mhm.
Because there's no excuse there.
Mhm.
He did it.
Mhm.
We went and it was awesome.
Mhm.
It was great. He loved it and like wanted to push further. And Sean saw that in him and was like, cool, like did some things. And it was great. Like that, I can deal with that any day, all day.
Mm.
Happy to do it. I have absolutely no issue with that. The other thing, the relationship thing,
Mhm.
same thing. I can do that all day, any day.
Mhm.
No problem with that at all. It's the in-between shit. That's what I can't deal with. When I keep giving people opportunities,
Mhm.
like when people are like, oh, I miss you so much, like let's find time. And I was like, cool, this is my schedule.
Yep.
And then they're like, cool, this is mine. And I'm like, all right, cool. This day, that day, here, there, blah, blah, blah. Like I'll drive, I don't care.
Mhm.
Nah, I'm not feeling it today. Or something comes up, fine, no big deal.
Mhm.
Second time, something comes up. Or I'm not feeling it again.
Mhm.
Okay, third time, same shit.
Mhm.
I'm like, all right, you let me know
Mhm.
because I'm not doing this. This is back and forth. But I miss you so much. See them in person. Oh, hey, how are you? Miss like nothing.
Yep.
I'm like, no, I'm this, not doing it.
Mhm.
And it's been like that with so many people that I genuinely do miss.
Mhm.
But I'm not going to make plans and sacrifice other things to do that, to then have it fall through.
Hmm.
Nope. I don't have the energy for that.
Hmm.
Because that is disappointment.
Yeah.
Which in my head is a negative energy.
Yeah.
And then I have however much time that we were going to spend together to do nothing.
Mhm.
Or then have to find something else to do.
Yeah. 100%.
Which is fine. But my head, my mind goes to the negative places first.
Hmm. I see.
A lot of people are like, oh, plans got canceled. Okay, let me do some laundry.
Yeah.
For example.
Mhm.
Or like, let me hit up that other person that was trying to hang out. Or let me go to this event that's going on. You know?
Mhm.
My mind goes, oh, as an addict, you have free time. Guess what we can do?
Mhm.
That's where my head goes first.
Is that do you think that's why you choose to prioritize like other people?
Yes.
Okay. I never said or asked that before, but that makes sense. Okay.
I try to give as much as I can where I think it is needed the most, or where I feel it is needed the most.
Yeah.
Like everybody else in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a me thing. That's a people thing. Like they're like, oh, I feel like this should be done first. This is a priority. Let me do that. Mind you, there are exceptions to that, obviously, because there's exceptions to everything. But a lot of like when I make people priorities over things, and then get disappointed, it's like in my head it goes, well, why do you keep doing this to yourself?
Yeah. I've asked myself that too.
Because it's like, why are you expecting this person to actually follow through? Why didn't you have a backup plan?
Mm-hmm.
But then on top of that, I feel shitty for then saying that to myself.
Okay.
And being like, wow, do you think so little of a person that you feel like they would just bail on you that easily? Or do you think even further than that, do you think so little of yourself that someone would bail on you that easily?
Okay.
And it's like, no, I don't.
Yeah, that's good.
But then I have to fight that too.
Yeah, of course.
Because of something that happened outside of myself. And that has just been so rampant in my life recently that I just feel like I'm fighting at all angles.
Yeah.
Including from the inside out. Like I have to do every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then a lot of times people ask me, like, when I don't sleep, they're like, well, why do you never sleep? It's like, because when I go to sleep, this starts all over again.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, it's like, you know, in like fucking, I don't know, like Indiana Jones or something. Like he'll set off a trap and the walls start closing in, or like the ceiling starts coming down.
I sadly never Indiana Jones. I know
It's the general thing.
Person, but...
Happens in video games too.
Okay.
You step on a pressure plate and the trap goes off.
Yeah.
So think of something like that, right?
Okay.
But it's like a steel trap that completely encases me. That is my battle every day. I have to pry that open every single day. But it's constantly closing. Constantly. So when I wake up, it's closed. I have to open it to be able to do anything. Like anything at all. Like get out of bed. Sit up even sometimes. Like I can't. I have to pry that open. Even the smallest little bit to do anything on any given day. It feels like recently that people are like I have one hand on either side and I'm like pulling and it feels like people are punching me in the face.
Okay.
Like maintaining that like this part while getting hit in the face is not only difficult, but it's like, and then I get questioned as to like why I just let go and just fucking sit in it for a little bit. Like I got questioned on why I like really didn't do much this week by someone, and I was like, because I'm fucking exhausted. Like it's vacation week. I didn't have to teach, or I didn't get to teach, because no one would have been there.
Yep.
Because it's not even a have to. I love teaching. I genuinely enjoy teaching. But like, I didn't have that opportunity this week. So it was like, okay, find something else to do. And it was like, no, I'm too tired. I just want to do nothing. And I mean that in the wholehearted genuineness of the word. Nothing. Like, that's how I'm feeling. And like, there's I don't know. It's not entirely in my control, which is part of the reason why it's so draining. Like, when it's just me, fine. I can handle this. Because it's my fault that I'm here. So that means it's my responsibility and it's my control to change it. When it's someone else, I just have to deal with it. Or then expend the energy to figure out a way to change it. Because it is possible. But like, I then have to do that. And if I don't have the energy to do that, it just sits there. But since so much of that is happening, I just don't have the energy to do any of it. So it all just sits there. Like, for example, last night, a couple people went to Winterfest. Forgot about that. Yeah, it's happening right now. But a couple people went last night, and I was like, don't know anything about it. Like, what is it? What's going on? Like, I don't. Is it like an outside thing? Is it like a concert? Like, what? God had explained to me. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me get ready. I'll go. Maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, they were like, hey, we're leaving. It's too cold. Like, okay, maybe I'll still go. Check it out, see what it is. Then family comes home. Something happened that I don't want to speak on. Something happened. Immediately, totally drained of all my energy, all my motivation that I had to even like leave the house. Okay, I'm not going. Central Underground was last night as well. I was gonna go to that. Was gonna be able to go, have fun, see Elmer, who I haven't seen in a long time, and he's going through it right now. Like, I know he is, and I couldn't. It's not even like I don't want to. I just, honestly, I legitimately believe that I would not have made that drive. Like, I would have gotten to a certain point and just pulled over and just stopped and just sat there. Like, that's the point that I'm at right now. And another part of the problem is that like, I have this expectation over me that a lot of people don't even realize they have. And it's just that, like, I'm so strong and can get through anything, you know, and it's like, maybe that's true, but I've also attempted suicide 8 times. Like, I've also been depressed for multiple years. Like, there's give and take with that. Like, yes, I am strong because I have to go through all of these things. Or because even I put myself through all of these things, and other people put me through all of these things. Like, it doesn't just happen. It's all for a reason. But, like, one of the people I was talking to about this over the past week has been like, that was their like initial comment, was that, oh, you're so strong, like, I know you can get through this. It's like, okay, and like, what does that have to do with anything that I'm telling you right now? Like, I know I'm strong. I'm fucking alive. Like, okay. And then they came at me with it was something along the lines of like, I just never thought of you ever even getting to this point because I know you're so strong. And it's like, what?
This conversation, this is like my whole life. But yeah,
It's mine too, but I'm just like, that's your expectation of me. That's not me. That's not fair. Like, you just expecting me to be good all the time because I'm strong. Like, that's not fair. That's not how it works. It's not how life works. Like, nothing happens just because you expect it to. Like, no. And I've literally gotten to a point where I just want to stop doing things for people so they'll stop expecting me to. Like people expect me to dance. So I stopped dancing. it's almost like I'm trying to like reset people's expectations for me because they've gotten so high to the point where trying to meet them is draining me.
Yeah, I understand.
But like I'm also the one who influenced the height of their expectations.
Yep.
So like it's not like someone said, well, talk to them about it. Like it sounds like you're mad at certain people. And I was like, I'm not even mad about it. I'm just tired.
Mhm.
I'm just exhausted. Like I can't be mad because I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be mad. I do. I want it. It sounds so stupid, but
it doesn't, because
I want to be mad.
as you talk about this, when I say I literally like relate,
I'm sure.
the way I've kind of gone about combating it is just accepting that is exactly how it is, and not being able to be mad about it, and having enough compassion, and just being like, so then what's the next plan of action?
Right.
Rebranding, like business.
Yeah.
It's like fucking a lot of the stuff I'm doing in April is going to be like that. It's going to be one side that people are familiar with, the other side that people are just going to have to get used to. So I understand, and that's
But like
the best I can do.
I was telling this person, it's like, because then there's a whole other thing with this person that I don't want to get into.
Mhm.
And I just like I was like, I want to be disappointed.
Same.
I want to feel that.
You?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, I want to feel that, but I can't because I understand. I understand why you did this thing. Me talking to them.
Okay. Even that.
It's like I want to feel that, but I don't, because I get it. It makes sense to me.
Yep.
I want to be mad. I want to feel that, but I don't, because I understand. It makes sense. And they laughed, and I was like, no, I'm serious. Like, it sounds so stupid. Like, saying it out loud, to me, I'm like, you sound like a fucking idiot. Saying, I want to be mad. I want to feel that. Like, that sounds idiotic.
I think you just have to be in that place in order to, because I resonate with that. I get what that means. I think if you literally have no idea, because you're like, why would you want to be mad? Like, and you kind of put it in that space of like, fuck that emotion.
Well, yeah,
but I think
that's
so. That's why like, I'm making a face because of relatability.
I know, but that's the thing. Like, majority of people don't understand that.
They don't have that level of empathy either.
So like when you say to like the average person, I want to feel mad, they laugh at you. They're like, why would you ever want to feel that? It doesn't feel good. And you're like, yeah, but it's a feeling that I can't have, at least for this situation.
Yeah.
Like I still get mad, obviously.
Yeah.
But like a certain, but it's like very specifically.
Yeah.
It's like things that irritate me enough to the point of me actually getting angry. It has to happen far more than once. But like it was that point of like I want to feel this, because honestly, if I felt angry and got this negative energy out of my soul and my being, I would feel a lot better.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that way. So it sits there.
Okay.
And I have to find something to do with it. Like when people get mad because somebody else did something, they get mad and they know what to do with that energy. Like it's instinctual. Like You get mad, some people yell, some people hit things. Like, that's instinct. I don't have that because I understand. So I don't yell. I don't hit things. I don't know what to do with that energy. And then you get this is another thing, is I'm my own devil's advocate too, because I'm like, okay, we'll do something productive with it. It's like, but it's draining, so I can't. And that's where I'm sitting. Like, I'm just sitting in it. I'm sitting in a pool of other people's bullshit, is what it feels like.
Okay.
And I'm with a fucking spoon shoveling.
Okay.
That's what it feels like. And mine's all at the bottom. Like, that's how I feel. Even if it's not the truth, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
And that's another thing where people go, well, then what's the truth? That's at the bottom. When the pool is fucking spotless clean, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Because I have to dig through all of this to actually find the truth.
Yeah.
Because I have to dig through all other people's shit, then my own shit, to actually understand what the fuck is going on. And not only does that take an enormous amount of energy when I have none, but not none, very little, but it also takes a lot of time. And people are like demanding that I have the answers now. And I'm like, including myself. Yeah. Because I have very high expectations of myself. And that I will never, ever live up to.
That's one way to put it.
But it's because of that I do a strong majority of the high level things that I do.
I resonate with that a lot, and then it changed. Not that I don't believe in some part of that, but when you say that, that's what drove me for a long time. And then when I was able to feel the pain of that, I had to change it somehow. I forgot even exactly when or what I did, but I think I said it once, and I remember hearing it from other people too, where, and I don't mean people that I'm like in real life, just like listening to a podcast or something, that you go from like pushing to being pulled. And that's what it feels like. For a long time, it's like a fight until something clicks. There's an alignment somewhere, you do the work, whatever it is, where you just surrender. There's a good amount of surrendering, intentional rewiring, looking at what sucks ass, and then it turns from push to pull. Pull is easy. And that's when a lot of it just left my body. I was like, I don't feel that. I'm like, oh, I still want to be, big, or I still have a high bar and all that stuff. But the difference is I don't feel the I guess, like I'm fighting something anymore. So, and you just know that in your body once it happens. It doesn't stay forever. It depends on how much you believe in it and stay in alignment with it, because it could leave if you forget.
I don't know. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
It's just, and again, part of the problem is like, I want certain things. Like, I know I'm feeling lonely.
Yep.
And I know, like, see, this is the stupid, like, double-edged sword thing. Because,
trust, I understand what you're saying 100%.
dude, it's stupid. It's just so stupid. Because, like, I'm lonely, right? So,
yeah,
having someone, I don't even know, to like be there for me, or whatever you want to call it,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Would be great, and I know it would help me, and I know it would feel great.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, I don't want to give myself that, because then I don't want to become dependent on it, because I know I'm an addict and I would get addicted to it. And then what happens when that person, whatever, leaves, hurts me, whatever happened? Then I'm fucked.
Understood. That's a little rough. Or a lot rough.
But that's my mentality, is like, if I give myself that, then I become dependent.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what being an addict is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, another thing people don't understand is that it's not any one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well,
it's
too
not
hard.
drugs, it's not shopping, it's not, it's not sex, it's not any of these one thing. It's the feeling. That's what the addiction is. It's the feeling. Like, when you get into addictive behaviors, a lot of people, like recovering addicts, are, honestly, I don't like to use that term, but I don't know another term for it, because an addict is an addict. Like, it's a lifelong thing. It's a lifelong fight. But people tend to use it when they're getting off of drugs, alcohol, what are perceived as negative addictions, negative behaviors, hurtful things.
Yeah.
Recovering addicts find something productive to get addicted to, like going to the gym, or I don't know, work.
Mm-hmm.
But then you become a workaholic, or you fucking destroy your body because that's all you have to figure it out. Like, people get addicted to sex, like, because you need that to feel normal. That becomes your new addiction. I know that, and knowing that, I go, oh, let me hold on, let me hold off on this. But at the same time, if it's a productive thing, why not? Like, I am not at the point of discipline and control to know where my limit is. Because it's different for everything. I have a different limit in shopping that I do in drugs. Like, to get addicted. Like, where I spending $20 a week might get me the same feeling as, I don't know, an ounce of cocaine. Like, there's no scale ratio. And it's different with everything, with every person. Like, there's no stop at this point. Like, you have to figure it out. Or I have to figure it out with everything. But it's one of those, like, you don't know till you're there. But I have to get to that point to know. And even then, I might not know. And then there's the fear of, okay, what if I don't realize it in time, and then I become addicted, and then I have to go through all of this shit all over again to get right back to where I started. There is no end to this fight. The only end that I know of is death. And I fucking tried that. I don't know. I'm just... like I would love for everyone to understand everything that I'm going through.
Mhm.
But I don't want anybody to ever have to go through any shit that I've been through.
I mean, that's an ambition. So I understand that.
But like, it's the same double-edged sword.
Mhm.
Because I'm like, oh, you don't understand me. And I'm like, but I don't fucking want you to.
Mhm.
Because to understand me, you have to go through things that I've been through. And I definitely don't want that.
Yeah, of course.
But like, I do want people to understand. But then I have to sit there and take the time and energy to explain it. And the question is like, okay, but are you ever actually going to understand me? Or are you just going to be like, oh, okay, I get that. Which is, I guess the existential question, like, will anybody ever really know anyone else? And it's like, I'm not even on that level. I'm just like, do you get why I do what I do? That's where I'm at.
There's a lot of layers. And, like the stuff that you're talking about, I don't personally know anyone else that is going through something similar, but just smaller versions of different portions of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the understanding thing, I've felt misunderstood for a long ass. I still do.
Mm.
And the more I buckle down on who I am, the more disconnected I feel from everybody else. And and it gets worse. And then when I go on my story, I talk about sacrifice, I talk about this, and I'm like, I'm saying it, but I don't think you understand. But that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect you to. I believe in my long-term plan or vision. It's not even fully put together, but I believe in it because in one aspect, it feels correct to me, even if right now you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect people to understand. It sucks. It does. There's pain of sorts that come with that. It's not extreme, like for me, but there is a sense of like, but it's like, trust the process, trust the vision, because it'll get you there, Yeah.
That's another thing. The fucking trust the process shit is, it's pissing me off.
I was fucking saying that a lot in the summer.
Dude.
And then bro had to fucking make merch.
It's not even that, man. People just
saying shit to say shit.
They're using it as an excuse. That's what it turned into. People, oh my god, when
okay, see, I'm not being exposed to that shit. I'm in a completely different bubble.
I'm not even gonna call people out, but like certain people, when you started saying it, then a bunch of people started saying it, and then it became almost like a trend within our like friend group community. And I was like, trust the process. It's like, oh yeah, no, that didn't work out, but trust the process. It'll happen. And then people started using it as an excuse. People are like, oh, I put in all this work and I did all this shit and it didn't work out. Trust the process. It's like, and then they would just like give up on it because whatever's meant to happen will happen, and like fate and all that kind of shit. It's like, no, that's not. Yeah. That's literally the opposite point of why he was saying it in the first place. Like, it's like what you literally just explained. It's like, yeah, trust the process because trust that the end goal is worth all of this shit that you're putting yourself through now, or that you're going through now. Not, well, if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. Don't put in any other work. Like, yeah, no, you have to, or none of it's gonna happen. Yeah, and then your process just is gonna stop. That's why it's called a process.
Yeah, you gotta do
proactive success. Process. Proactive success. I like that. It's I don't know if that's a thing, but I just I just made it up. Like, there's no proactive success. Fuck yeah, that's my new compound word.
I love this.
Jamie and I talked about this on Wednesday. We had a whole conversation about this.
Mm.
And I came up with another quote on Wednesday on the drive down. I was like, practice with no purpose makes no profit.
He posted that. I saw that.
That's mine. I said that. And you didn't give me credit for it either, you fucker.
It's okay. People don't always credit.
It's fine. I give myself credit. I shared it in my own story, and I was like, yes, love him. But I'm kidding, Jamie, by the way, if that wasn't clear. But, like, that's another thing. It's like I'm giving so many people so many opportunities, and then they don't take them, or they neglect them, or, you know, nothing comes of it. And I'm like, and then they're like, trust the process. And I'm like, no. That's literally the opposite point. I'm like, I am fucking, what's the word? I am assisting your process. I'm helping you speed it up. And you literally just told me, no, trust the process. Like, what?
That's fucking weird.
What? Oh, yeah, no, I'll do that. Never does it. Oh. Hello? Trying to help you here. Have explained that I'm trying to help you here. You agreed with me. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. And I don't have to, but, like, that's not... Again, there it is fucking again. The double I don't get it. I don't have to, but, like,
No, I get that.
But you don't have to.
Yeah.
And you can still be okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not okay with it.
Yeah.
That exact spot is where I'm at.
Okay.
I get it, but I don't have to. But
yeah,
that is right where I'm at right now with 100 million things.
Mm-hmm. I've reached that.
That's where I'm exhausted.
Sometimes, yeah.
That is why I'm exhausted. And I just don't want to do anything.
I don't know how that stuff sorts itself out. I'm like thinking about how many times I've hit that point. Because it's a cycle. And I'll be like, motherfucker. And then I'm like, I don't know anymore. Like, I'll hit that point, and I'm like genuine about it because I'm like,
yeah.
And it comes with education and just growing up.
Well, yeah.
And then somehow I guess my final is like embracing what is, the humanness of what is, and then taking advantage of what is and shaping it the way you would prefer. That's kind of like what I've chosen. Like, I used to be hard on certain attitudes and stuff. Now it's like, yeah, that's not the move. The move is like whatever you choose. Obviously, there's other things in play than just making a decision and doing it. When you talk about like chemicals and feeling, and then it's like, okay, then what principles have you learned that you're going to use to kind of bend it into the way that you think you want? So then there's no ultimate, like, if you want to be pissed for a minute, you're pissed for a minute, even though the other part of your brain is like, nah, bro, that's not the move. It's the power of like embracing,
you can override
just
it.
What comes up for a moment and just letting it be, and then removing yourself and be like, okay. And like, I've embraced that more the past like 6 months. It's empowering. It's good. It's shown me things that I'd either forgotten about, or I've mostly just forgotten about. So through like some shitty points, like I don't think I felt, not for sure, like I definitely didn't feel like what you're feeling now, not even close. But for my version of like being pretty consistent when it comes to like an energy and like a happiness, a few weeks ago, not even like a week ago, for some stretched amount of time, I was not in a hot spot. I was just like battle. You know, I didn't want to do shit. I was tired. Creativity was like, I'm like, no, because I'm tired. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm not even doing anything. I'm just not
Mm.
sleeping well. I'm not following any routines. I'm just all over the place. And then other things started to show up. And I was like, oh, once again, imposter syndrome. And I was like, motherfucker, again. But I didn't know. But there are levels to it. And so certain things outside of me happened. I decided to let it interfere with my internal.
Mhm.
But in doing so, it showed me that that I didn't fully even get as close as I thought to conquering something that I did set my attention on, which is imposter syndrome. The only last time I've ever really talked about it was with Sean on stream forever ago.
Mhm.
It's stuck in my brain since then. And then I thought I made a pretty good effort. And then when I really looked at it, I was like, I didn't. You know? So I just think, again, it's multi-layered. And I'm going back to all the things that you said. And one of the biggest things that I came to when I was like, you're talking, my brain is kind of like searching, is like, yes, a lot of things come from subconscious, and there's a lot of power in that. And I know you know that. Like, I've learned that a lot of people know a lot of things, but it's not, knowing is just not enough. It is a step, but application forever will always be it, even if it yields no immediate results chemically. If it's like a distant thing, it's one of those like you stack, you feel nothing until you actually get there, and then you're like, I finally had a breakthrough. You know, that's sometimes what it takes. You don't fucking feel anything during the process of it. But when you talk about, to me, aside from like the addiction part, because when I work with people like professionally or even as friends, I don't believe I'm not gonna, because people say shit and just like people hide a lot of things, whatever. And people also show whatever they want to me. Right. I've learned that throughout the years easily. So I'm not going to say, I'm sure everyone that I'm talking to is not an addict of any kind. I don't know, truthfully. Right. I'm going to make a good assumption that they're not, because they're being honest to a degree.
Hopefully.
Right. So with that in my mind, where I don't believe anyone's an addict that I'm working with, when spiritually and emotionally they latch on very early on to my message, okay, my message than me, okay, whatever it is that is keeping them down in their life, I have found peace with knowing that it's okay to like latch onto me, because I believe in my ability, because I believe in their ability to change in a way that is conducive to them. So what I'm saying is like, and again, it's going to be different when we jump to the addict part, which I'm not there yet. But so in my head, and now what I'm thinking is like, okay, I'd rather have them focus a lot of their attention on me, and maybe it's not the healthiest thing to like pour everything into me, but that's what I'm here for, right? And so and I try to live up to that. I don't really have any issues with that as long as I'm in peak condition, because then I'm able to turn all of the things that they're kind of like confiding in me, and like they're finding a lot of like, oh my, I'm being seen, I'm being heard, they believe, like all the things that they're not getting everywhere else that I'm supplying. Then we try to use that as leverage to change the wiring, so that we can then start to, they essentially start to wean off me, right? Because whatever my process is to try and help them get there, it so far has worked with like everyone. It's the pace is different, but it has worked with everyone. And so that to me makes sense. But when you throw in the fact that there's like addiction, that challenges how I do stuff, right? So again, so to me, it's like gets me going, because I have to think about, okay, well, yeah, what if they do get addicted to me or my help or my existence or whatever, right? Do I really think I have it in me to help them find it in them? I would say out of optimism and pure dedication to what I do, yes, because I when I tell myself like what's ingrained in me is like it's my responsibility. Like I don't expect someone to ask me to be something. I believe in whatever it is my vision is. I'm kind of losing it. Yeah, I lost it. I saw something here. I was like, oh. I just believe that I have it in me to figure it out because I'm just driven to figure it out because that is my life. You know, anything that I don't understand that is in the field of trying to help a human being become the thing, to just be an optimal, I'll say optimal human being, that is like a goal of mine. And when there's an obstacle and I don't know, I have to study, I have to learn. And so I would say, yeah, because I believe in my process, not because I think I can pull it off at this instant. Just because my love for this work is like undeniable. But getting practical here about addiction in ways that I guess can make sense in my head, and it's like it's something special because I feel like you know. Is that the most viable thing I can see is challenging the identity. Like that's it. That's like probably the strongest thing, because I don't see there's strength in embracing the identity, and there always is in embracing what had happened to a degree, to find something and to understand. And then there's always that other side, which is like now to let go. I just feel like everything comes with that balance of if it's a challenge in your life or a blessing in your life, to understand both sides. I don't want to think too hard about that. So it's like, yes, it's like my friend. We haven't talked in years, and she's like more functional. She's like, she knows who she is. She's more sure of herself. She's more maintained, but there's still a lot of life in her. So she's not jaded. It's more like, I'm a grown woman. Like I remember talking to my friends about it. I was like, she's like a woman now. Like she's not a girl. She's a fucking woman. Like she doesn't die at the sound of college or anything like that. Whereas before she couldn't even stand to hear. But she's one of those like students who just go to school and fucking hate their lives type of shit. Now it's like she's matured to like, you know, what's real, and open to not knowing what it is that her path is, and just being like, I don't know, but you know, I'm just figuring it out, and I'm accepting like what is, as opposed to having fucking anxiety about what the fuck am I gonna do about it, right? So there's a whole lot of things, and she either has ADD or ADHD. We didn't talk about it in the conversation, but no, we did, obviously. I forget which one she has, but has meds for it, all that kind of stuff.
It's the same thing.
And she had said for the longest time she didn't know that she had it, right? So she thought she was all types of fucked up, or she didn't know what to do with herself. Now that she understands that, okay, like this is a thing that I have. So obviously there's protocols in place for certain labels, right? So I think in that way, that is power. And I think that should happen for everyone. If they think there's something wrong with them, that they should try to figure out what it might be so that they can have proper treatment. Expand your knowledge on what treatment is very key, so that you don't stay addicted to whatever method is presented to you. So that's really important. But then also to then learn how to get away from the identity, I think is one of the most powerful. I haven't seen someone like do that well when it's deep. Only like when it's kind of like a light level. And I've seen it through myself when I used to identify certain ways. So, I got my ass beat and all sorts of shit, but like, I've never been on like medication or whatever. I have my own sets of problems, but when it came to just my identity, I never accepted certain things. And I learned how to embrace certain stuff and be like, oh, this is who I am. And as I get older, I'm like, oh shit, we can change ourselves to then liking that philosophy more than the other, and being like, I want this to be true. I really want it to be true, because how is this person going to go from that to that? How do you do that, right? And I was like, I don't want to be like this forever. And my biggest thing that I always tell people is like, I used to be shy. Like I was shy. Like when people hold on to the identity and that is their crutch for like sucking at a lot of things or not taking risks. It's like, oh, I'm shy. Oh, I'm shy. Oh, I'm shy. You say that fucking 10 million times and that's who you are, right? And so I think it's good to know where a part of Brendan is at, but as much as you can with the energy that you have, to instead of trying to have like, so this is like, we're talking about energy now, right? And distributing stuff. There's a balance here between you want people to understand, but like you don't, but like a part of you does. But then there's also, well, the more you talk about and explain to someone like I am, right, an addict, only reinforces that more than being like I'm a, because the more that it occupies like your life, because it does, and then trying to share that, it just takes up so much like energy and space and time, right? Where it's like, where's the part, and I don't know because I know your life, when you're not saying that that's who you are, you know, like how often is that being practiced?
Like, when am I not an addict and when am I just Brendan? As opposed to being Brendan the addict, when am I just Brendan?
Yeah. I'm sure you, just when I hear it and like understand, like I don't know what it's like to be an addict, but I understand that like your
You
needs
do,
are
though.
different.
You do, though.
Hmm.
You're addicted to progress.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
When things,
Apparently it's in my name.
and I've seen this from you before, when things either stop progressing,
Mm-hmm.
you want to figure out why so that it can keep progressing.
Mm-hmm.
That's an addiction.
I think we're all addicted to something.
We are.
Because when I hear fucking, I think because if we're just wired that way, then fucking we're wired that way.
That thing that you love to do all the time,
yeah,
that's an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
What makes people addicts in the stigma of our current society,
Okay, yeah, I'll say we'll focus on like my understanding of that.
that,
Mm-hmm.
which is normally associated with drugs,
Yeah.
that is a label
Mm-hmm.
that was put on people to divide us because of the negative connotations that come with being an addict.
Yeah.
Gym rats are addicts.
Yeah.
CEOs are addicts. People, self-made people, are addicts.
Mm-hmm.
But since they're addicted to something that's quote unquote productive,
Mm-hmm.
they're not viewed with the negative stigma that drug addicts are. Because if you take whatever thing that drives that person, you take that away,
Mm-hmm.
then what?
Insanity.
They either have to find something else or try to recreate it. That's why drug addiction is so dangerous, because nothing is ever as good as that first high. Because your body's never felt that before.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, oh my God, this is fucking amazing. And then the next time you do it, it's not as amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So serial killing is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an addiction. Literally.
No, it just goes all back to the basics.
It's all in the chemical nature of humans.
Yeah.
Something feels good, you want to do it again. Something doesn't feel good, you don't want to do it again. Then you make the love-fear decision connection.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid to do this because it didn't feel good the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that's not how it is every time. Or I make this decision out of love because it felt good,
Mm-hmm.
or it made somebody else feel good, or whatever the case might be. That's looked at as the love decision. And then you become addicted to that. So you make all decisions out of love.
Mm-hmm.
That is the scientific reinforcement behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get addicted to it. You're addicted to progress.
Mm-hmm.
That's why things happen. That's why people are drawn to you. because you get shit done. Period. That's your addiction. But because it's productive, and it is destructive sometimes, people look at that as, oh, well, that's just the trials of making progress. It's like, no, that's fighting an addiction. Everyone deals with this. Mine just happens to be negative and judged and looked down on by people. That's the difference. It's just hard. Like, how long did that just take me to explain? Maybe like 15, 20 minutes?
I thought it was a little faster than that. That's like 10.
Okay, say 8 to 10,
Yeah.
right? 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Now imagine me explaining that every single time I have to tell someone about a decision that I made.
This is why I do this internet thing, man.
This is my point, though. But not everyone's going to see this.
I used to get frustrated with that. No, I understand. And
it's going to be different for every situation.
Yeah, of course.
Because there's different motivations for different situations that changed based on people. Like, there's no way to do that. There isn't. And if there is, it's probably not going to be found in my lifetime, let alone by me. There's just, like, until we can pause time and I can sit here and explain every action to you and my whole life story and then play time again, like, there is no way to do that.
So, I mean, you've expressed that that's important to you, to get people to understand to some degree, and then how it's annoying to repeat. I know Angel feels that way. He doesn't, it seems like he used to do that and he stopped. Now he just focuses on, he narrows his focus on making a decision between that and the other thing. And he's like, fuck this thing, I'm gonna do this thing. And I get that 100%. And I'm going through a version of that right now. And that's why I like, because I get frustrated sometimes when I'm fucking hearing the same shit over and over. Like, as much as I love it, because it helps. See, that's like that's my double edge, where it's like, oh, love listening for the sake of listening, and then pattern recognition, I think I could help with that. Then it's like you hear it a lot too, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on, or like, what the hell are you doing? And then it's just like, am I gonna continue to one-on-one, or am I gonna be like, and just use what is here that I know of that is powerful, and to do something through trial and error to be great at communicating a message, which I hope to get much better in April with stuff I'm doing now.
But like, then there's that too, which,
like, I don't know, I can't have everyone understand.
right?
But that's
there's
fine.
no. So I guess the point of my struggle with this is that I know I can't have everyone understand everything. It's just unrealistic. The problem is I'm also tired of having to justify my decisions to people that want to fight me on them.
I just wouldn't.
But when it's about me and that person,
and just, those are like, it's the battles, right? That's Those are the points. At some point, you gotta sacrifice. That's, I mean, being myself in this body. It's like that's my philosophy. Because I'm looking at draining and whatever it is. Like I'm like, okay, the point of improvement for me. I think improvement for the sake of improvement is not fun. That for me, there's like a chain. I believe that improving will help me better communicate and put me in a position to help better, because I believe in preserving the planet and like alleviate some form of suffering, not to eradicate it, but to help people better learn how to navigate it. I used to be like, eradicate all suffering. Then I was like, no,
Suffering is what gives us the good thing.
it gives us stuff, right? So then, see, through my journey, I was like, no way, yeah, the fuck. I was like, it's not to not suffer, just when it happens, or to know that it's gonna happen, and not be like,
why.
oh, it's all doom and gloom, because it is happening or it will happen, and not see that thought as a negative one, but to know that like life consists of that, and learning how to deal with it in a way that doesn't destroy you, where you feel like you can't recover from being destroyed if you get destroyed. So like that's become my thing. And so I'm just gonna circle it back. What did you say again that made me say that? I was trying to circle it back because I'm just gonna say that. Oh well, you said oh fuck, I was right there. Oh, like explaining to people, and I was like, choosing, you're making a sacrifice, and there are certain, so then I'll choose that, and realizing that, okay, this is not it, like, so then my focus is that my big focus will always be that. And when I'm faced with that decision again, I'm like, okay, this way, I believe. And that's made it easier for me to deal with any potential attachment or pain that might come with like trying to make it work with a person. Just being someone who feels the same way about helping people eliminate excuses, being there for them, all the whole thing, to then being like, fuck, the more I commit myself to this practice, the more problems I find. And then it's like time. It's like, what's most effective? Like one of the biggest things is, it feels weird because my subconscious and my heart as a fucking person, if I could just talk to people and help them and guide them and just not have to deal with the structural shit of money and stuff, I would. But because I don't have that privilege, I have to pick what is most important at what stage. So I don't engage with every text or call or return calls or fucking. I'm doing less and less in this space, so that I can direct my energy where I believe it'll do more good later instead of now. The price being maybe me changing is going to make people feel a certain way, and I don't always have to explain myself. And it's like, oh, well, he talks about being, and I'm not saying anyone's saying this, it's not even true, but I could imagine it happening or manifesting, like, oh, like he talks about being this and that, but he doesn't even make time for da. Like he's just always about the grind, right? And I could imagine that, and I've had that conflict for fucking years on end. And like my nephew reminded me of that. He was just like, damn, I really have to book you to spend time with you now. And when I looked at that, it didn't like punch me in the face, like because I anticipate that, right? Because I'm like, I'm in my head, I'm like, I know that's what I'm sacrificing. So when someone says it, and I'm like, yeah, you know, because even though that's true, it's not like you made all of this effort to really want to see me like that anyway. When people, it's like that.
It's like, now that there are limitations, you have a problem with it.
Limitations are great in this regard, and I'm gonna talk all about it in April. That's my fucking theme of the month.
But that's another thing, though, is like, that comes with the expectations of people.
Yeah,
Because when I say no, like, people are like, oh, for example, there's one person who lives in Boston who I've been creating opportunities for us to hang out for months now.
Yeah.
I'll say two to 3 months. And it, on both sides, has not worked out.
Yep.
Multiple times. And I'm like, look, I'd literally sent you money to pay for a train ticket because I want to see you, but I don't feel like driving to Boston and then sitting in rush hour traffic on the way back. Like, you have the opportunity. You're choosing not to take it. I have the opportunity to drive. I am also not choosing to take that.
I think people are just really caught in cycles. Like I get that,
But then
I didn't think about it, and I'm like, it's like, oh well, look at this miracle that's happening. That doesn't fit the narrative of my fucking life story, which I can empathize with. But Jesus, because like I said, I understand your frustration, and very few of the people where you offer like that take it. Very, very few, and the ones who do, maybe something great will happen.
maybe.
Yes.
But like, it just gets draining because I'm just constantly giving out opportunities, but it's never even like I never even get like a return message being like, hey, I'm free this day. Let's hang out.
Two things. The original question of what are you really hungry for? Two, you're like, so the way that you identify problems too, you're it's true to you. So I'd say there's some passion in there. I feel that about certain things, and when I feel some way about certain things, I fucking pretty loud about it. At least online. If the opportunity shows up in person, I'll run it there. And so, like, if this is something that is like true to you, and you want to communicate it because you feel like you'll be doing a service and it feels good to you, like me painting the picture of expectation of oneself, which I've felt for a long time, because back in high school till forever, when I'm like, I used to fucking write about what if the person that you depend on most
Disappeared.
or they're having a rough time, then what? I would literally ask Tumblr, because and I'm like talking about myself, because I'm like, yeah, I feel like shit. And then when I go to people, they're like, you're Vatana, you can get through it. And I'm just like, that's why, like, I can relate. And to this day, you know, when, and it's not a fault, right? Because we have that understanding of why someone might see us a certain way. So that I'm not going to blame them. The philosophy that I've fully adopted, instead of being upset or like wanting people to understand, I was like, fuck that. I'm going to be vocal, teach people, right? Because I'm like, let me show you that I don't have it together all the time, right? Which is something that I've become more passionate about, because I recognize that when I decide to not be the consistent, which was at one point I was talking about being one-dimensional, because people were starting to get a little having expectations and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, then that one side of me that I let go off a little bit, I was like, so not doing the whole devil's advocate and having empathy, I get it, but I was like, fuck that side for now, because let this side go off. Let me trigger. I'll go into trigger mode intentionally, right? And so I don't have to say anyone's name. I post, they read, they feel. If they don't give a fuck. I feel better, right? In one aspect. So yeah. I said that because I forgot where I was going.
Yeah, I figured.
Communicating the message. That's it. I think that's the best thing we can do. Aside from like letting go of what brings us pain, if it's expressing and trying to scale, like just explaining and then getting good at explaining as in like knowing how to maneuver all this shit so that people listen, I think we'll start to then create an environment around you where it makes more sense. So I know the difference between, oh, like they know me versus someone who's never met me. And I had that like shocking experience with one of my clients who was referred to me. And then, so when she came in, she's all timid and stuff. I was like, okay, someone's like tense and she doesn't know who I am and all this stuff. And no, but then I asked her, I was like, do you know me like at all? Like, she's like, I was just referred by this person. And I was like, I guess I'll just give it a shot. And I was like, so do you like follow me on anything? Like, have you seen any of my stuff? She's like, no. And I was like, okay. I'm like, I'm not gonna be like I'm like a big deal or anything, but like obviously the person didn't look into anything, which is fine. So then I was like, oh, it's been a while, right? So I was like, okay, well, and I was able to break the ice after like 30 minutes or whatever. And that's will happen a lot, you know. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, if you create what you feel like is missing, or the other major thing, because I said two that I was going to point at, was maybe you just need more people who do understand. Sometimes I talk to some of my peers and I'm trying to bring it into the conversation more. I'm just like, maybe we're not where it's at right now for you. I saw something.
There's a book.
Yeah, isn't there? Where? How? Whatever. Like, just because you've been here for a while and like we're friends or we have a lot of things in common, like maybe we ain't the tribe. Sometimes I do feel that way about a lot of people. I think, and again, think of someone who is not inherently selfish in that sense and wants the best for someone. Maybe this community is not it for people. Leaving might be the move. Like, your people are there somewhere, you know? And I feel that way about some people who I'm like, listen, I was like, we're all dancers. You dance sometimes, but like that's not your groove. Like, go play in the arena that like suits you, you know? I think that's important. And if it comes to relating to, you know, certain things that make more sense where you don't have to necessarily explain yourself, and then you start cultivating or you jump into a community that there are already protocols and certain levels of like treatment when it comes to friendships and all that stuff, because you don't have to explain yourself, and then that in turn preserves a lot of energy, and now maybe you're getting some. Not gonna say it's like perfect, but I know that that's real to some degree, you know. Like, I don't think this community here that has been fostered is the community or like the end all be all. Being optimistic, sure, but like realistically, no. It's, for me at least, how I view things is like, oh, well, and then you start to get to know them and you recognize that, oh, they're parents or whatever and they feel accepted here, whatever. But I'm like, but there's more for you, like beyond this community, and like, don't get wrapped up, because this may not be the move for you. This might have just been a stepping stone and you have to now evolve past something else. So that was like my other thing that I wanted to say a while ago, because when I hear too much about people that you're around, I might just change it. Okay, don't get everyone to understand. Like, that's the thing. It's like, being in this space, I'm not passionate necessarily about trying to be understood by everyone, because I don't feel like I'm understood anyway, because I'm different.
Even within the community of different people.
Yeah, I do. I'm just like, yeah, I'm fundamentally different, because I like believe in this ridiculous thing that I'm asking for. Everyone kind of believes what they're asking for. I like 100% all in believe it, and that's what makes me different, because I'm willing to do what it takes to get to this thing that is not guaranteed. There's nothing. And just that's so rooted deeply in me is enough to separate me from everybody. So I'm like, you're not willing to do that ever right now. I hope you can one day for yourself, but
you have not shown me that you are willing to do that.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, maybe there is other people out there that can fucking level with you right now, that I think is better than the people you're exposing yourself to now. And I
I
wish that for you more than fucking anything else, because I think that would help a lot.
have two.
Hmm.
Two that I know of.
Do you like speak with them a lot or vibe with them? What the fuck? I'm not even saying your name.
Yes. I don't speak with them very often, but when I do, it's always 100% worth it. And I guess part of my exhaustion is that I'm trying to find those people.
I've never looked deep into the interwebs or groups and shit, but I know that those might be able to help. Tried it. If I find something which is in my head, because it's a big deal, and what the fuck is the word? I don't even know what the word is, but I want to get amazing at what we're doing here one day. And if I can't help, then I gotta keep getting better to try and help. So I'll keep it in my mind.
But see, that's another thing, is that there's the double edge where I don't want to be. It's not that I don't want to be helped, but I don't want to have to be helped. Because I know I can do it.
I understand that fucking double-edged sword 100%.
Because, like, I know I can do it. But help would be nice.
But dude, as someone who has always fucking, my biggest reference point all the time was the convention season 1. I was like, fucking did that shit by myself because I was pissed. And then like as I get older, it's like you distrust and people suck and you can't rely on them, and it's just like I'll just do shit myself. To then learning how to evolve past that and being like, nope, it's not just me and trying to make it on me. Like, yeah, because that's a good mindset to some degree, but also if you can't truly like entrust people, like you're scared, like you thought the fuck, like you can't. And I tell myself, I'm like, you can't even think to scale a business that's going to serve people if you can't trust someone. So then I'm like coming up with all these different methods to learn how to trust people, and I've learned a lot of things. So it's helped because I've never given up on that. And I have to be okay with being like, bro, you don't have everything. And I'm like, you're not feeding people yet. You're trying to, but you're not there yet. So it's okay if lots of things fail, or if it's not moving as quickly as you want, or whatever. You're learning. Figure out what you have to let go, what you have to change. But letting it in for sure, I think is good. And this is from someone who fucking has subconsciously sabotaged myself to like not let that happen. And then growing up around people who feel the same way, like we're all like, oh, I don't like when I take people's money, or this or that, or this or that. I don't want to be this or that. And then so when I recognized that as a problem, I was like, let me. I was like, oh, mine. I'm like, I believe in the same thing. You believe in that. I was like, fuck.
But it's conflicting.
Yeah, it's bad. Like it's because you're stuck. Like I'm like, fucking take the help, right? But then like I'm over here like, oh, okay, like and just because it's the way I was raised, and I'm like, I can attribute it to that. My parents don't accept anything. I'm like, I never understood like going out to eat as a family, whoever the heck is there. Then I guess it's an Asian thing to be like, I'm gonna pay for it. I'm gonna pay for it. I'm gonna pay for it. I guess other types of Asians are a little more extreme, but then it's like,
it's not just
you're out here preaching like, you tell us we don't have money like that, or we have a budget and stuff. But then when we go out to eat, like, why do you feel the need to fucking cover everyone when everyone like that's just, they want to offer $20, $40 just to cover their meal and then some, but you're all like, no, we got this. And I'm just like, never understood that, but I guess it was so strong that it's in my blood too. So then that's
part
something
of it is a culture thing.
That is, yeah, a fucking, and then now it's like, okay, it's a problem. It's bad. It's like we have to learn how to feel like we're worthy of accepting help, or that we're not a bitch just because we do. Like, so once I was able to, wherever down the line where I was like, okay, this is not a great thing, modest and kind that you care and whatnot, but it's like, it's not a great thing. Like, we have to know when to say no, when to say yes, but it has to be like, it needs to come from within, and it needs to be true to, like, I don't know, a philosophy that you fuck with, as opposed to like something that you've been conditioned to believe.
It has to come from you
Yeah.
as opposed to outside
So I
sources.
get that, and I get that. I fucking get that personally, and I deal with other people who feel the same way, and I try not to put weight and pressure on them from me and be like, no, like, you don't have to feel bad or like, oh, me or anything. I'm like, I do this because, you know, I do this. But knowing how to surrender that part of yourself to let some light in is important. And obviously everyone's reasons for that is slightly different. I know yours can be, or you've already explained that it could be kind of dangerous in some regard, which I understand. And there is no like obvious or clear path for like where you're supposed to go. It's just like anyone else, it's trial and error. And I think maybe if I'm gonna fucking offer anything, my dude, of all the conversations that we've ever had and all of my experience in the past few months, like being super intentional with clients where I have to like problem solve and recognize patterns and like how to break them and all that stuff, I'd say just having a board of sorts of like board, like it has to be a board and like words that they're because there's a lot of conflicts, right? And then there's the addiction thing that makes things even more complicated. And then things come down to what you want, what happens. There needs to be like some sort of visual understanding as like your guide, so that you have a better look at what's going on, and you can look to it if you forget or start to become imbalanced or something. Just, I don't know what the answer is. No one knows what the answer is necessarily, but what I'm trying to say is like, again, trial and error, but I'm, as a friend, trying to suggest thoughtfully for the sake of being more careful than others. For others, like, I'm just like, you know, just do it because you seem to be all right, and like you can take certain punches to a certain degree. And not saying that you can't do that either, but just in the condition that you are, and because you've reached this level of condition before, to have that some sort of navigation key and like just stuff that is like hard grounded, that is a constant reminder for your subconscious. I think the magic for you is really hacking into the subconscious as best as you can, and just having the things that you know, like, for example, it's like when you said 2 people, it's like that needs to be on some fucking golden list. But there can be protocols. Now I'm thinking a little extra layered because you talk about addictions, so it's like that's what makes it a little complicated. So it's having protocols in a navigation. It's almost like, okay, I'm in this situation, and then you look and you're like, oh yeah, these were the options I gave myself, and this is what's gonna make me feel 75% awesome and 25% shit, or this is gonna make me feel great. And it's just like, kind of like, it sounds like a lot of shit because it is, but I think it's one of those long-term things that you can do for yourself to kind of map out just protocols, and then they'll change over time. But I think it could help because it'll remove guesswork, and when you're just off, I think just having like a go-to that you believe in, because it's coming from you, it's realistic, it's coming from you. But now it's like it's a fucking like Like, okay, something happens, like, oh, this girl's pissing me off, and let me look at this, and it's like, oh yeah, before I drive myself to the ground or something, like, do I want to continue to do this, or am I going to go this way because this is what I wrote down, because I know that this is what happens. How far am I going to go into that? I think something like that, because it's less in your head and more like it's already been put on something, like a system that you built for yourself, that could be really effective. Because I feel like it'll preserve energy is what, like, that's the thing. It's going to preserve energy, and it's something that I think you can grow to trust and know that, like, okay, well, I'm feeling like 10%, I'm going to hit up this one person, because my rule is if I feel like 10%, I'm allowed to hit up this person. And we have that connection. If I'm at 20, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to turn to this. It's kind of like that. You don't have to think. You can feel it in your body, and then you have a map for it. And for those who do understand, you could show people your fucking map. Like, I've learned a lot of things in business and like family, just having a vision and sharing with people that you care about, that have the capacity to understand as like your rocks, helps a lot. And for me, having my rocks, I know that if I have, like, for example, if I go through one person, can't make it, another person can't make it, and I don't know, you kind of just figured out that's kind of like its own separate thing. But if you can come up with stuff, because I was thinking about like people that you can like kind of like count on for certain stuff, I think if you make those protocols that can help. I mean, I hope that makes sense, and it sounds like a cool idea. And as I'm saying it, I'm like, yo, that protocol thing sounds kind of cool.
It does make sense, and I have some. I have my gratitude list, which is oftentimes what gets me out of bed in the morning, or during the day when I get up. And you know, a lot of that list is.
It's probably telling me that the stream is dead. Hello?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but the live stream ended because of the hours. I guess that has like a limited time of hours on it.
Yeah, no, I just turned it on.
Okay, I'm coming back.
All right. Oh, Jamie's in it right now. Anyway.
I just talked to him. That's probably why.
Okay.
But like, what was I saying?
Gratitude list and lists.
Oh,
and
right.
protocols.
The first two things on my gratitude list are those two people.
Okay.
And it is filled. I have 150 things on that list.
It's way more than me.
A lot of them are people.
I've just put people on people, but you know.
I name.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's powerful. So.
But like, sometimes I can get out of bed at 11. Like the 11th one on the list. Sometimes I get to 150 and I still can't get out of bed. That's the fluctuation of the extremity of what I'm going through right now. Like, and that's just the ones that I actually remember up to 150. Like, past that changes, fluctuates ridiculously. Like, I have more than that. And I've written more than that, but it changes every time I write it.
I don't know. I just think there needs to be an evolution or another breakthrough.
Well, that's my problem. That's what I'm
But
fighting for.
I feel like it's just gonna come at the price of something you don't want it to come at.
Probably.
That's what the fuck's happening to me. The more I'm just like, okay.
But again, this is my double edge. I know what's probably going to happen.
No, I feel like our decisions aren't permanent.
Some of them are.
The ones that I'm not referring to, but in terms of making choices of people and like removing oneself from stuff. Like when it comes to time, expending your time and like trying something. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go live in New York for a year. Like it's not fucking forever. Like you're not fucking abandoning everyone forever. But or you're like, I'm gonna go there. I don't know when I'm coming back. But knowing that it is possible for you to go back, I think, even if things aren't exactly the same, but you ventured out, like you have, and some things are still the same, or they're better, or they're slightly worse, or whatever. But the core, the essence of something is still what it was, I think. I'm just thinking about how you have taken steps to go places, but like whatever is still known in your life is probably still there anyway.
Majority wise, yeah.
That's kind of what I mean. So I think it's that time, because you know it goes back to people, but like people aren't enough to get you up in the day, or can be frustrating, which is probably also why it's not enough, because you're just like, oh, because that's kind of how we all are. And so I think there just has to be something more.
Well, that's why I'm going to LA in April.
Nice.
See, the thing, but part of the issue is that I know all these things.
Yes, you do.
Everything you're talking to me, I know, I get it. And I've done a strong majority of the things that you suggested that I do, or I am doing.
Yeah.
But it's just, this is where I am right now.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like sometimes it's not the immediate, I changed this, so this is going to happen right away. It's like, no, I'm just waiting on the change.
I fucking feel that. That's okay.
But when people ask me, how are you? Or what's going on? Or I tell them, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
This is how I'm feeling.
I don't expect any of them to help or understand.
I don't either.
I can tell you that much.
But I'm still expected to do
that part.
a lot of things and perform at a certain level and you know whatever expectations people have of me, and then I have to deal with the feedback of it. I have to deal with the consequences of it. And it's just, sometimes it's just too much and I just shut down.
Okay.
Like you telling me a bunch of things is not,
Understand, so I'm here to understand. He's saying 250. Who are you talking about? Pokemon trick? Yeah, I just missed it. I feel you, bro. I feel that too. That's why I had to remove myself from certain things. Yep. Temporarily. Remember how we talked about expectation towards me? I'm expected to act a certain way to feel.
Yeah. I think it's a fucking human thing. Like, everyone expects to some degree.
You were saying that like he's known as J-Rod.
Yeah.
Like, so people expect J-Rod to be the high energy, go, let's get shit done, try to do everything in the fucking kitchen sink. Like, that's what a lot of people expected from him. And then when he wasn't that, it was the consequence.
Yep.
For me, it's super similar. Like, I'm expected to do everything that I can for every person. And when it's not that, it's like, who the fuck are you? It's like, this is who I am. It's like, well, that's not who I know. It's like, that doesn't change the fact. And people get mad at me for that. And it's exhausting. Like, I'm tired of being everything all at the same time. Because, like, some people expect me to be, like, the motivational, like, you got this, we can do it, like, we're in this together person. And then at the same time, be the sensitive, but it's okay if you don't actually get it. At like, people want both from me at the same time, and it's like, that's not, like, I am both of those things, but to do both of those things at the same time, it's like holding electricity in my right hand and water in my left. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna die. Like, there's no. Because then I do this and put them together at the same time, and then like, dead. That's how it feels.
Okay, I was like, that's interesting, because when I think of both at the same time, I think of like harmony and like true balance and power. That's my version. Because when I have a solid mix of
But
both,
that's two sides of the same coin.
yeah.
You have to get destroyed to be put back together.
I just think of just a small thing, like Tony, he was here, and then like, and my cousin was here too, Monica. So it was just funny, because like Tony was all like in his pocket, and then essentially expecting me and like trying to hit these things, because we're working together professionally. So like, when I'm like kind of slightly off, which is like almost never, but with him, and then like he's, saying all the things that I believe in too, with like excuses, or like, come on, let's go, like, right? We gotta get this, and I'm just like, bro, I feel you, but it's not like I'm not in that right spot. And then he would come the way that he does, and I was like, and then I was talking to Monica, because we're all in the same room, and I was like, when you're tired or acting like a little child, it's the same shit. I'm like, I don't have many off days, rarely, but today's not the day, my guy. So I'm gonna just chill and do nothing, or I need a rest, right? Because that part of that was I wasn't already in a good space, so that wasn't rubbing me right, and so usually I will default into my Zen ways and I'll be fine. But lately, I haven't always been choosing that path, and there's power in not always choosing that path. Because for me, I could feel great all the time. That sounds crazy. But to express to somebody else that it's not okay, or to show them, because they might forget. When I was explaining, I was like, you're either hit or miss, man. I'm like, you're tired or you're on. And I was like, remember that meeting that we had as a huge team? And y'all bitches came hungry and tired, and I was on it 100%. I was like, where were you then? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
where was this?
Let me have my off. Like, I'll recover. I just need some time. Let me go at my pace. Because for me, when people try to shake like that, because I know me, but for the first time in a while, I was actually getting irritated and stuff. And like feeling like the outside voice does matter, because we are working together and there is a goal. But right now, I'm just not on it. And so that was the first time that I expressed, and like, you just kind of had to accept it. I mean, I wasn't going to fucking fold anyway, but I just wanted to express. And it felt nice. Going back to like the mat or whatever. And even with like my mom, like coming here and she's saying all this stuff. And then I like blew up a little bit because I was in my masculine. I had talked about this on a podcast I haven't released. But my mom came in and I freaked out, because I was just like, Mom, I was like, there's deadlines that I have to hit, and like, she doesn't know what's going on, right? Because she's being a mom and like telling me to do the same shit that I probably haven't done just yet, because I'm trying to prioritize something that I didn't communicate, that she probably doesn't understand anyway. I was like, just let me, figure this out, because I have to do it, because nobody else can do it. I got to do it. And it wasn't what I said. It was the energy that my mom's not used to hearing from me, the frustration. But she was like, versus being super zen as fuck and explaining and doing this and doing, because she thinks it's okay, because we enable that behavior. And so if you want to kind of rewire a little bit, and instead of like, yes, understanding, but now it's like, give yourself permission to show frustrations without holding back sometimes, because people fucking forget. Because when you just show one side, that's what people think is it. And unless they are actively exploring human biology, psychology, physiology, like yours truly and other people, they're not going to get it. So then you have to be their teacher in that sense. And you don't have to explain yourself. You can just go off and then be like, well, fuck. Guess he has off days too. And you probably won't feel good in one aspect. You'll feel good in another. And that might have been extremely impactful in a way that's different from what you think ideally is the way. And this is a lesson that I had learned in the past year because of my mom, because of a girl, and just it reoccurring again with my students. I blew up with my students. Jamie was there to see it. I'll never do that. I fucking did it. And it felt good in one aspect and feel good in the other. But it was worth it. And it was real. No hard feelings. And I hope that they're mature enough to understand that. If they don't, I'll explain to them. But yeah. I think allowing yourself to not be one-dimensional is important. I love it. I think it's super key. And it doesn't matter if someone doesn't understand. They don't have to. Because, like, bro. And I just go back to, like, I just think there has to be something more than just people for you. Like, people that you know. There has to be something else that is there that can be your, I don't know, let's call it.
Driving force.
Yeah. Because shit, if it's not that, then it's just changing up some philosophies. Because for me, it is people.
People is the overlying.
Yeah, but I had to like move so many things around in order to have the capacity to deal with in a way that is healthy for me.
I guess that's where I am, though. It's just figuring out.
That's fine.
And moving around and finding whatever that is. But like, that's the exhaustion, is that I'm putting all of my energy.
I totally understand that.
That's remaining from all of the other things that I'm doing into that. And then dealing with either the misunderstanding or the lack of understanding from outside sources on top of that. That's where I'm just like, no.
Yeah. I know I'm extreme because I'm extreme, and I guess because I choose to be extreme. And this is, like anything else, a phase of sorts, with obviously some things being deeper that are continuous. But
extreme.
Extreme. Let's see. Hold on. Because like, obviously we'll get through it. I know, but I'm just like, the extreme part is what I'm saying, where it's like, is the extreme part even necessary if you're going to get through it in a certain amount of time?
I'm so tired of hearing that. It's sympathy, and it's not helpful at this point.
What, the get through it part? Oh, I see it as like a fact. I don't know. More than like, I don't say it for like sympathy. I'm like, no, like, because we just naturally are kind of like,
but like
with a twist of optimism.
People tell me that in like I forgot. Like,
I mean, I said it because I'm like, I think so. When I say stuff, I don't think it's because the other person forgot. I think it's more of like
that's what it feels like.
Okay. I was like,
it's like, hey, you're gonna get through it. It's like, yeah, I know. And
I think it's, at least for me, when I call it over explaining, it's like to make sure that I hit certain areas so that the other person knows that I'm aware that that's a thing. It's not because you know, but for you to know
To
that,
know
that
that you
I
know,
know,
yeah.
as not like I'm skipping over it, but it's like, okay, that's in place. Now I can talk about this type of thing.
But like for most people, that's where it stops.
Okay.
There's no like, it's
Okay.
just you're gonna get through it.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
It's like,
I mean,
I know.
do if that's what you do, that's fine.
I know I'm gonna get through it. It's me like waiting for the next like.
Okay. So okay, my next thing.
But here we are.
The extreme thing. The extreme thing is just vision, man. I think a lot of the times when I talk to people, it's just vision. Because when you say all this stuff, like fucking people, and everything is a process, and it is supposed to be difficult to some degree. So it's like, okay, continue on, or let's be my version of extreme, which is just probably something you've done. Don't know. But because then I'll be like, okay, like the job, the this, the that, the this, and that, and it's okay, what can be like, what should be changed, and what are we working towards for the next 6 months, because we need to get this so that we can allow this to open up. Like, does doing this open up 20% of your energy and you get that back, and now you can do something else? Like, when I think of something like that, I think of like this entrepreneur. Just would entrepreneurship make sense? Because when you decide, if you build up something a certain way, financially, statusly, whatever the fuck you're doing, that then gives you room to sort things out better, is that worth pursuing, as opposed to doing it in this style that you've been going at it wise? It's like, that's kind of like where my brain's going to. Because you can continue, to do what you've been doing and add a few different small elements or tweak things certain here, or is it something needs to be a little bigger, or we need to make a solid goal that's going to lead, like, that it can help return some time or energy back to you, type of thing. Like, just being proactive in just trying something different. If it hasn't been tried, or if it's gonna work now, maybe there just needs to be more clarity. I thought of that. I was like, when you talk about how much stuff you have, and it's like, all of us have our fair share of stuff. It's just, how do we manage, whether it's like, oh, I thought school was going to be like this, but now I have like way more homework than I anticipated. It's taking over my life, and like this and this and that. It's like, okay, well, something's got to give. What is it going to be? Are you going to drop a class? Are you going to drop some friends? Are you going to stop cooking, or you have to start cooking? It's like, there's that whole balance of money, sanity, responsibilities, and purpose, and there's just a lot for everyone to some degree. And so it's like, okay, well, what's going to help you get to that next stage? Does it have to be a major change that needs to happen, and a major sacrifice?
And I think it does. Honestly, I think to get to a point that I want to be, it is going to be a major sacrifice, and I'm probably going to very much not like it, but I don't know what it is yet.
Okay.
Let's see. It says, remember how, okay, expectations, act a certain way, how it hurts me because I couldn't deliver.
I feel that. I just feel like other people sometimes can make things, when it's for the sake, sometimes when it's the sake of other people, like trying to satisfy another person, I just feel like it's just like, I always say, just bring it back to yourself. And then a lot of times we find that, okay, well, yeah, we are wired for connection, but like, let's try to detach and master that. Then outside people don't matter as much. And when they do matter, it's because you want them to matter. I don't know. It's weird. That's everyone's problem. Every fucking person's problem that I talk with. It's just always other people. So I'm just like, look at yourself, and please, like, again, it's different for everyone, but there's a fear there, or something deep or conditioned, and it's hard as fuck. And so it's like, let's try and set yourself up for success with every tool in the book that you and I both know, and just apply everything. But everyone can only do it to some capacity, and obviously everything requires habit building. and that also requires sacrificing something.
Mhm.
So
I should figure out what it is. That's where my energy's going right now. Like, what is it?
Hmm.
Figure out what it is. It's like, okay, I'm trying. Well, no, figure it out right now. It's like, I'm trying.
hmm,
And it's like, okay, sleep on it. Well, do you know what it is yet? Like, I'm trying to sleep on it, like you just told me, but you asking me is causing me to not sleep. So leave me alone so I can sleep on it, like you told me to do.
hmm.
Okay, but do you know what it is yet? Like, no. Give me a fucking second to try and figure it out. Like, that's how it feels.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm just overwhelmed, I guess.
Oh shit. When was this? This was at, I don't know what time. I'm really struggling with the positivity. I keep getting punished with negativity I spread. I'm really in need of any advice right now. I don't know if you're still here. I'm just seeing your comment. If you are, can you just let us know?
Stop spreading negativity. I don't know. That's just me being an asshole. I'm sorry. Because struggling with positivity, like if you're trying to spread negativity,
I feel like that's not it.
I feel like that's not it either. But if that's the point, if you're trying to spread negativity, then how are you being punished? But if you're trying to spread positivity, how are you going about it? Or how are you trying to switch the negative to the positive? That's what I would like to know.
So, I guess there isn't too much left. Again, it's just comes down to time and action. Ideally, not like fairy tales and rainbow, but in this particular space, if things were to kind of just like be ideal and like perfect, like how the world reacting to you in a certain way, that's like, it's like, this is it, man. This is what I want, or what I need. What would that look like?
People, including myself, not punishing me for things that I do either for the good of them or for the good of myself.
Okay. That's cool.
Honestly, that.
What is your definition of punishment? Not the definition, but for this, in this frame, what is it? Just for clarity.
Supplying hurtful energy.
Okay. So like,
Which is not always done intentionally.
so lack of empathy.
That's definitely a strong one.
Ungrateful.
A little.
Disappointment of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
When someone doesn't step up.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, I guess. When presented. This is just very specific, so I don't. So just
Presented opportunity.
when presented with an opportunity. Anything else?
For what?
Punishment. Like, what is punishment? You said no punishment for the good of them or myself. That would be ideal. That would start assuming elevating you and bringing you back up to a better place. If the world was just like, and that's what just happened, and all of this just went away.
Making time for me would be nice too.
Them making time for you. Okay. Because people are trash at that. What you had said. Okay.
And you know, like $10 million and like
So those are the
not
things
having
that I'm just like, yeah. You mean $100 million?
No, I'm good with 10.
Hmm.
That's my house and my car and another car when I need it. And any maintenance on either of those that I would need. And my studio. And then some money to live on for a number of years.
Okay.
I mean, if you're offering 100 million, I'm not gonna say no.
I fucking wish one day. No, 100. I don't know about 100 million. That was a fucking crazy ass shit.
I'm saying, like, if you want to throw 2 extra zeros on there, I'm not gonna say no. But like, I'm good with 10. Because honestly, upwards of 10, I feel like I would just start helping people. I'd just be like, oh yeah, let me buy you a house and give you like a trustee fund of like $1,000 a month or some shit.
Andrew, yeah.
But it would be for like very specific people, and I would have the power to take it away instantly. Like, no, fuck. Like, you are no longer spending this wisely. Goodbye. Like, I would help people, like, not enough for them to like not work and like get lazy and shit, but
Yeah.
like enough to be like, I can do what I want to do and not have to like struggle financially. That would be fantastic.
He was like, do a tarot card reading on him.
Right now,
Maybe not
kind of
tonight.
defeats the purpose.
Maybe another time.
Isn't tarot like 95% about energy?
Well, it wouldn't be like, you don't have to necessarily be all like, yeah. It's just a reflection. Sometimes it can unveil stuff that you might have forgotten, or it's just kind of putting a magnifying glass at the obvious, like, this is what you gotta do, man. Or like something from X ago is now, and you're like, oh shit. Sometimes there's hints in there.
But still, through technology, I feel like it defeats the purpose.
Oh, not for him, for you. But I've done it through tech before. It was pretty dope.
Oh.
Yeah. But I was just gonna say that I'm not scared, okay? I'm just OT and have to go to bed. That's all. But I just wanted to kind of come to like a
conclusion
of sorts, yeah. Not just like, if we had stopped at 10 o'clock, it would have just been like the ill cliffhanger. It's 11:16. Oh, Monica. It's so important to tend to your inner child and take care of that part and nurture the part that has been neglected for so long. It's so okay to finally be selfish once in a while and just fuck everything and focus solely on yourself.
Which is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if you're listening to the whole thing, but
no,
just
clearly
listening
not.
to Brendan, it's a lot of layers that makes that sentence more difficult than it is for like other people, which is why like I haven't really even said that in that way too much.
People saying that to me gets annoying because that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where
just because they can't recognize it they say it to me, and I'm like, but that's exactly what I'm doing.
Mm.
This goes back to the understanding thing.
Mm-hmm.
People are telling me what to do when I'm already doing that. It's like, yeah, and is there a further point to that? You're gonna get through this. I know. You asked me where I was at. That's
so
where I'm at.
interesting.
Just being honest.
Now, what's interesting is like, it's very normal for people to offer words.
Hmm.
Again, it's a normal thing, which is fine. And it's also interesting to then receive that kind of response back, which is understandable.
In what regard?
Like when someone would say stuff like this,
Mhm.
it would either just kind of feel like a thank you or like a brush off or like it's meaningful in some way.
Mhm.
But
That's creative as fuck.
yeah.
I'll give you that.
But when it's like, oh, I've heard that and it's annoying, like to the other person, it's like, oh shit, what? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, but it kind of just shows that, you know, some of the best things to do, you're fucking terrible.
Wow, both directions.
Is
That's impressive.
Yeah, thanks for the art. I just farted. That one I could not control. I tried. Oh God.
Wow. Who takes the time to figure this out? Like, really?
What?
See, because over here it doesn't make any fucking sense
Yeah,
at
over
all.
here it doesn't make sense. Over here, it makes the most sense here. But whatever. I mean, are you expecting like a crazy reaction? I think it's weird how people come in and they don't even try to understand the context of a stream. Because I've seen that. But
well,
what's funny,
majority of the time they just don't care.
Sometimes people will come in and say something weird, but then they might catch on to like what the conversation actually is, and then those are cool.
Yeah. Because then it's a genuine connection.
Yeah.
But like something like that is just unnecessary.
If you're looking for shock value, you're probably not going to get it here.
No, definitely.
I'm sorry, not today anyway.
At least not with that.
Yeah.
It's creative though. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Do you have all of these like saved?
Yeah. There's no way.
Just like else. If not, you type very quickly.
I think for once, I don't know how to do this.
You can kick them?
No. This is the one thing I haven't known how to do. Now that I have someone to test it on.
It's just funny because like I look at this and it just makes no sense.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make any sense at all. And there's another one that
this is not going to do anything.
Can't even see it.
I think it's this. That's not it. Ah, man.
What are you trying to do?
Yo, what's good?
What's up, Mike? This person's going off.
I don't understand.
Vinicet is going off. But like, I have no idea what they're going off about because it doesn't make any sense. I see.
It's the Jews again.
And now the stream gets stupid. It's about that time.
Oh,
It's
God.
what, like 11 something, right?
Bad out.
I don't get it.
Let me see.
Liz on Twitch. I'm actually super curious.
Yeah.
Where's the Asian Harry Potter guy?
Oh, you've been on our stream before. He's with us on Instagram right now.
Asian Harry Potter.
Okay. I just learned how to ban someone. I was trying to figure out how to do
Does it
that.
remove all their comments?
I guess so.
Damn, I was gonna go on Twitch. I was really curious as to what they were going off with because I couldn't tell.
Well, hold on. I'll
Thank you, Park Celtic Alex.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
Let me see what happens when I unban them. If I can, if it lets me. I don't even. That's not it. I literally forgot how I just did that. Oh, ban chatters. Okay. If I unban them. Well, first, me.
You're not handsome. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Just kidding.
Oh, that's fine.
Celtic
That's fine.
K.
That's fine. If I'm not handsome.
No, it does have a K, so you're not handsome. C. Celtic. What? I'm so confused. I'm too tired to
Oh,
like,
it's all
figure
still
out
there.
that. Wait, just scroll through it once and then you can reban them. I'm just curious. What the fuck?
I don't know what the hell that is.
Yo. Fatana has a blog where he talk about how to stop sucking at life. Check it out here.
Where do I have? Oh, that's my stream elements. That's so funny because I have to do that over.
What?
It's wrong. So you
It
can
has
ignore
the
that.
U in the link.
Yeah. First of all, I fucked it up. And second, I'm probably gonna do
You're
that all over
welcome.
again. White chocolate guys look easy before you fall asleep. Can you guys scream Higgins to give my friend a shout out?
No,
Is that an insult? The word?
I don't know. I just don't feel like saying it.
Like,
I feel like that's a last
that's
name.
like I don't know if that's like a person's name or like an insult in like a different subculture or something.
This is going in a strange direction.
Yeah, what is happening?
Oh, who's your friend?
That's my Higgins. He's our mate. You lads are such Higgins.
It's like a substitute for the N word. Yo, I'm too tired for this. I can't.
Is that a thing? I'm gonna look it up.
He's legit Googling it. I can't. This is what's happening right now.
It means
guys.
intelligent.
This is
The
what's
name
happening.
Higgins is of Irish origin. The meaning of
I knew
Higgins is
that.
intelligent. Used as a boy's name.
That's my intelligent.
Or Urban Dictionary has a totally different definition.
Here we go.
The name of hillbilly cat. This cat is usually thick. A boss, a person of great importance among a group of people. When this person speaks, you listen. Royalty. Boss-like. Hand job. While giving a
What?
piggyback ride. What the fuck? celebratory statement, or it's either like sex or something good or funny. Okay.
Welcome to Urban Dictionary.
Higgins, that's my Higgins. Our fire D is called Higgins. He's a white homie. Higgins.
Friend, I think.
That's funny as fuck.
That's interesting. All right, you can reban them.
This is the oddest twist in stream content I've ever seen.
Yo, Jeffrey, same.
Have you been here the whole time, Jeffrey? And just haven't said anything?
Where did he join?
Facebook.
I know, but I mean, like, where in the stream?
Oh, I think like since the beginning. Yeah.
Mr. White Chocolate, did you get bitches? Are you talking about me? Am I white chocolate?
Oh, damn. Jeffrey's been here the whole time.
I appreciate you, Jeffrey.
Bro, can't wait to see you.
Where's your waving video at, though? Just saying.
Jamie.
Team's probably going off.
I tried to put you on stream with me. You won't. You're scared. Okay, this should have ended a while ago, huh? I can't sleep, so I'm here. Penis. That's what was happening on my Twitch. Okay. No, the Asian guy who's white. You're allowed some being epic things that go together. Fucking Einstein?
Y'all are confusing as fuck.
Okay, well, I think that shall conclude this
Yep.
funny stream.
This right here. That word specifically is what I was trying to avoid. That one. Because that's not it. I'll get to that. But she's still going off.
Higgins. Yeah, it's okay.
Einstein Higgins.
Appreciate the effort, you know? Effort's nice.
Wait, boy. How many?
That's so funny.
2?
He looks like he puts in work.
He does put in a lot of work. He's addicted to progress.
Yeah, here's my Instagram. That's like my fucking catch.
You just know the link? Oh, it's an easy one. Do you wear knee guard? I'm so lost. I'm too tired to like try and comprehend this right now.
Jeffrey says, I've been grading student lab reports at like 8:50 your time. Love you too. Fuck.
What?
Oh, that's Stream Elements again.
No, the one above that.
Oh, the knee guards. I'm
What?
Why are my Stream Elements stuff showing up now? Like fucking 2
Because
hours
people started
later.
commenting.
No, it's I think no. maybe.
The boys 69. Yo, my bros.
Well, I appreciate you guys' energy.
Yo.
Oh my god. I need to change that shit.
The most random of times.
Guess what? If you have Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime, yeah, Twitch
You
Prime.
can buy knee guards for sport on Amazon Prime, which gives you a free Twitch Prime subscription. So do that and then subscribe.
Do you ever wear dirty old knee guards? I've never worn knee guards in my life. God, I don't know where this energy is coming from.
Probably people that are high at 11:30 on a Saturday night
Well,
on Twitch.
I think one of them is a different time zone. Or maybe both of them. I don't know.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, it's not working. Wait. Let me see. Just to see if it works, because it hasn't.
See,
been
for
working.
people not on Twitch, it's probably confusing as hell.
True. Oh, we can't hear you. Hold on. This is weird.
Pikachu.
We can't hear you because my volume is turned all the way down on my phone.
Pikachu.
Unless I do this. And it's delayed, and that's fucking weird. This is stupid.
Why are we doing this?
Oh my god. No, it sucks because like we have to. I can't turn up the volume on my phone, so I can't hear you. But if I do, it'll be here and it's delayed.
He's laughing.
So
Or
it's
he's
just-
dying. I can't tell. Got you.
Micker Gawkwin, Mr. Goff.
Sick mustache.
Yeah, I love this energy
That
Keep
first
my-
word,
my
I'm not
guards
gonna say.
under my basement.
Because I'll get in trouble. Yo, I'm too tired for this right now. My guy. Jamie.
Why is this even happening?
I'm way too tired for this right now, fam.
Yeah.
Right.
He said me too. Okay,
Right.
Okay.
You can't sleep. Me neither.
Okay, well shit, I was gonna go sleep right now, so
It's fine. Yo, just me and Jamie will hang out. You just just go to bed.
oh shit.
Nah, I think I'm gonna go home because I have to go to work still.
I'm gonna take a piss. I'm gonna go to sleep and
How
I
do
wake
you
up and
let's
do mad
say-
shit.
Wow, they are really trying to get us to say that.
What?
The N word.
Oh.
They're like really trying.
Why?
I don't know.
That's weird.
What's up, Jamie? I can see you. What the fuck is that? I can't see it. It's on a phone. It's really small.
And it's backwards. Vitamin C.
Oh yeah, because you're sick. Got you.
Oh gosh. All right. Any
Yo,
last
these guys
words?
on Twitch are going off right now. What? I can't read that either. It's too small, bro. I can't read it.
All right, I'll get off Facebook first. All right, Jeffrey.
Bye, Facebook.
And anyone else who's on Facebook. We'll see you another time. Thanks for jamming. It's been fun.
Peace and love.
Love you, dude. I'll see you soon. Oh yeah, we need to do a stream. I forgot. I don't know if you already booked me for a stream, but we're gonna do a stream. But yeah, peace and love.
Bye, Jamie.
So that's